Aloha and welcome to Knitted Paradise, where the needles are clicking and the yarn is squishy. My name is Lucia, and you can find me on Ravelry and Instagram as Pearl of the Pacific. Today is Monday, June 27th, and this is episode 125, my knitting podcast. Hello everyone, and welcome. Thank you so much for taking your time to spend with me. I really do appreciate it. I have a bunch of stuff to show you today, so let's jump right in. Below the concho, we still have two knit-alongs going on. The Night at the Theater Shawl knit-along is almost completed, so if you are getting close to the end, you might want to wrap that up. The bind-off is kind of long on that one. Sorry about that. I realized that as I was creating it and knitting it for a second and third time. But that bind off is really epic. Sorry, but it's totally worth it in the end. The other knit along that we have going on, or swap cal really is what it is the first annual Friends Fraternal swap cal. And the code I chose for that for Instagram is FFSocks16. So for Friends Fraternal Socks 2016, because I'm hoping to do this multiple years. It's the plan anyway. So I know a lot of people have swapped already. I've swapped with both of my partners. We had an odd number of people, so I ended up swapping with two, which is totally fine with me. At the rate I knit socks, this will not be a problem. So I got my second swap package today, which was really exciting. I swapped with someone in Canada. I'll talk about that later, and I know that their postal service is potentially going on strike soon. So I sent mine out as soon as I could, and she sent hers out, and I got it, so we're all safe. I'm hoping she gets hers soon, because we sent them out on the same day. Hers actually got here really quickly, so yay for that. Yeah, so that's it for announcements. I'm adding a new segment, which I wanted to share with you. It's called Under the Coconut Tree. I asked a question last week about where everyone watches, and the response was phenomenal. Thank you so much, everyone who responded to that question. That was hugely helpful. It seems that most people watch it on YouTube. There was a few that watch it in the Rav group, where I post it in the thread with the show notes and all that, which is just the YouTube link posted there. So I don't think not having a website will be a problem as far as the podcast goes for now. I am working on designing my own website and hopefully hosting it somewhere else. That is in the works right now. It's going to be slow going. It's actually through work, because I'm practicing some of the stuff that I'm learning at work, and I needed some content. And I was like, well, I need a new website, so we're just going to use this content. So I've kind of started redesigning the website with a whole new back end thing, and I won't get into it. It's kind of complicated unless you know website design. But that's kind of exciting. I'm learning a lot in the process for work and other things, so hopefully that'll come up soon-ish, but at the moment I think I'm going to retire the website as it is and keep the podcast on YouTube, so for most of you you won't see an interruption at all. If you don't subscribe to the channel, that's a great way to get notifications. That's how I keep up with a lot of my podcasts, is through subscribing to their channel. And then I just go into my subscriptions tab, and it shows me all of the new videos that are out this week. I add them to my watch later list, and then when I have time, I just go to my watch later list, and I can just hit play, and it will just go through or just, keep playing them as I have time. And then when I, am out of time, I just hit pause and go do other things and come back, and they're just all there. So that's a great tip, since most of you watch that on YouTube. I've also found, I think I mentioned this a while ago, that you can change the speed of playback on YouTube to increase. I don't know if you can decrease it, but that's how I keep, because I watch a lot of podcasts, and that's how I keep up with them, is I watch them at 1.5 speed, and sometimes you have to slow them down, especially if they talk really fast, but most of the time I can understand most of what they're saying, and that's good enough for me. And then if I, can't understand something, I can always go back and, slow it down and rewatch that part. Not a problem. But it's a tip that I found for watching things on YouTube. And for all of us, I know people probably watch multiple podcasts. And so that's just a little tip. Time saving tip to get through things. I love watching them and enjoying them, but sometimes I don't have, especially for the longer ones, I don't have huge chunks of time. I have like little bits here and there. So watching them faster helps me get through things, and it's kind of energizing too. I'm weird that way. All right. So the under the coconut tree for this question, or for this week, is, what is your favorite wool wash? I am currently using Euclid in the lavender scent, which I love, but I'm almost out of it. And so I thought I would put it out there to everyone to ask, what is your favorite wool wash? I'm going to do this is like the weekly poll here to find out what's your favorite wool wash. I'd like to learn about some new ones, maybe try some. I have some samples of some random ones that I've tried. But I'm just curious what everyone uses in terms of their wool wash for, washing and blocking their knitting. So that's the question for this week. All right, let's get started. On the island, I have some socks. Are you surprised? Really? I haven't worked on my blueberry waffle socks. Those are one of the ones I'm doing with one of my swap partners, and it's because she sent me her package before she left on a trip, and I sent mine to her where she was on her trip. And I'd gotten like almost to the heel on mine, and then I realized maybe I should save these so we can knit them together. That's kind of the point, right? And so I've been saving those, and she now has her package, and she started hers. So now I don't feel so bad working on mine. But I will do that this week sometime. But so I had to start some new socks. And I had wound this yarn up forever ago and totally forgot about it. I had stuck it in my Knitspin Farm sheepy bag, which is so cute, and totally forgot about it. It had gotten buried in my whips pile. But this is three Irish girls Adorn sock in the Marmalade colorway, which is this gorgeous red. It's a lot bluer than it's coming out on screen. But anyway, it's for my photographer friend who does a lot of the photography for my patterns. And so in exchange for her taking pictures of my knitting, I knit her things. So I knit her a hat a while back, and this time she asked for socks. So I started some socks yesterday, and then I asked her what she wanted on her socks. She's like, what are my choices? I'm like, oh, lace, cables, texture, or plain. And so she said cables. So I found this pattern called Mirkwood by Rebecca Wilder, and I'm doing that. It's just a nice cable up the side. It's a free pattern. It's pretty simple. I just wanted something not too complicated, just so that it would be quick. I'm into the like simple but not too complicated, because if it gets too complicated, I can't knit it while doing other things, which is when I tend to do these. So a lot of this was done today during lunch and during our afternoon coding session. And so I have the second one here. I'm doing them parallel. And I'm really enjoying knitting with this yarn and this pattern. The only complicated thing is counting the number of rows. So I'm going to have to maybe get out my row counter for this, because that's the only hard part, is trying to concentrate on the row counting. So those gotten started and are coming along quickly, so we'll probably get done fairly soon. And the other thing I started was my blanket. So I mentioned last week that I was going to start a Cozy Memories blanket. I'm housing this in my 19 Studios, it's a wintry bag, because this is one of the colors. So I'm doing color coordinated blanket, which is mostly mint and some grays and natural and yellow. That's the only thing that's not on the bag. So I went with the color coordinated bag. And here is the blanket so far. It folds, so it's a blanket, right? Deal? So here it is. And this actually is going to be the middle right here. It's going to be a diamond. I didn't plan this out very well as I got started. This was my first square. It's another Crafty Girl, her strong sock in the Lost Souls colorway. And this is, I think this is my second one. This is GnomeAcres Sporty Gnome in the, like a natural, I don't think it's just a natural color. And then this one is One Twisted Tree, Sun on My Face in her prime base. And then I should have put this gray here as kind of the middle. You'll see where the increases go. It'll be a little square there. And then it'll just be concentric diamond things going out. And I'm going to do the mints, and then yellows, and then mint, and then yellow, and then like natural will be here, and then gray will be there. So you kind of get the idea. And so that's what I have so far. This is Juliana's Fiber, I Smell Snow. This is Nitpicks, Greatest of Ease. I think this is the end of one of their gradients. I think it was Brass and Steam. It was a yellow to a gray. And these two, I believe, are both Highland Handmaids. I know this one is, and I believe this one is too. And then this is some Cascade Heritage and some natural that I found. And originally that's not what I thought this was, but then I realized this is actually a sport weight base. But it works. This is a kind of a heavier fingering, so that kind of works. Whereas this is kind of a lighter fingering. Anyway, it works. So I'm figuring this out as I go, and I kind of based it on the Coziest Memory by Kemper Wray. And that's that. So you notice these are more blue than mint, but they were the mintiest thing that I had in scraps. But then I raided my stash and found this sock blank that I'd almost forgot about from Leading Mint Fiber Arts, which is the perfect mintiness. So I will be adding some of that. I also pulled out some random yellows. I'm knitting these on 1.5s in, what are these? These are the Knitter's Pride Cubics. They're actually square. I don't know if you can see that. And I'm really enjoying these. I was actually sent these for review, and I just haven't had a chance to knit with them. And I'm really enjoying them. I can see why people would use straights for the blanket, because you don't really need this whole cord. And it kind of gets in the way, but since I'm used to it from magic looping for socks, it's not that big of a deal. The only thing I noticed is that if I push really hard, I can bend these needles, and which is kind of annoying. It's not terrible, but it's not great. I can just kind of bend them back, but I'm worried that over time it's going to wear on them. So we'll see how it goes. And then I just have a whole collection of yellows and some kind of minty stuff in there. This was actually my very first square. And I started out really loosely, and then as I was kind of getting later and kind of tired, I'm like, I just want to finish the square. And it got really tight up in here. And so it's kind of this skewed, wonky thing. I mean, it's also been shoved in the bag, but you felt it in person. Like, this is way stretchier than it is up here. So it kind of ruffles out on its own. But I decided to keep it just for now as reference. I had some more of the yarn. I think I still have more yarn of that. Just like I still have more of the Juliana's Fiber as well. So those may pop back up in the blanket. Same with the neutrals. Oh yeah, here. I still have plenty more yarn. And some random yellows in here and stuff. So that is coming along nicely. I'm really enjoying it. I posted on Instagram that I was looking for some mints, and grays really is what I don't have a lot of. And quite a few people contacted me about sending me mini skeins. So at some point I will have some lovely minis from friends to add to that. So that's living in that bag, and considering how much stuff I have shoved in there, it's holding it quite well. There's a lot of minis in there, and I think I needed more neutrals. I didn't want to just use this. I ran out of that gray, and I don't have any more gray. But I have a feeling that those two naturals will get used a lot in the blanket, because that's what I have. So that's what's on the needles. Set sail. I finished, looks like 2 things. It's been a little over a week since I podcasted, so I guess the first thing I finished were these socks that I think were almost done last time. These are the Pebbles pattern by Mina Philipp from her Beyond Vanilla sock set pattern, and this is the GnomeAcres Sport, and this is Leading in Fiber Arts in the Winter Night colorway. And her pattern is actually top down and a longer leg, but I adapted it to be toe up and short ankle socks. I meant to do these the no-show socks, and then I just kept knitting and forgot. But I actually had enough yarn, which I was very happy about, and I did my same deep pocket heel, and they fit really well. So those are going in my stack. I'm just accumulating a stack of socks over here. And then these socks I knit up the other day. These are left over from the Live Long and Prosper yarn from Turtle Purl, which is a Spock-inspired colorway. And the toe, I think, is Lorna's Laces in like goldenrod or something. I don't even know, but I just thought it looked nice. I kind of wish it had been this, then the black, then the 2 stripes. Like, but just the way the yarn was in the ball, I wasn't gonna, waste a chunk of yarn. I still have some left of this, so who knows what will happen to it, but yeah, those are kind of fun. There's the second one. There are 2. I tend to knit mine in pairs. I don't really have second sock syndrome. The grocery girls were talking about that on their latest podcast. They're like, how do people not have second sock syndrome? I've never had that problem, just because I've always knit them 2 at a time or parallel or one right after the other. Generally, I don't have a lot of single socks sitting around. It kind of drives me nuts. So these are fun. They are done, and I need to clip the ends off them. I tend to do that, like, as I take them off the blockers, clip all the ends, put them in the stack. So I'll have to take an updated stack picture, although a couple of those yarns, no, maybe just one of those has been gifted, and one of them was my husband's, so I'll have to get them out of his stash and then remember it was in my stack for the Bakery Bears knit along, the Summer of Socks cow. So my goal was to knit a foot tall of socks, and I don't think that will be a problem. I'm actually really enjoying these short socks. I have quite a few here, and Ori has 3, and then I've been wearing them a lot actually this summer. They're really nice, and they're really a great way to use up scraps. I'm really happy to discover that I can get 2 pairs of socks for myself out of 1 skein, which is really kind of fun. So that's fun. I think I have enough left of this to do a short pair of socks, so that'll be fun to have a short and a tall pair in the same color. So it's kind of fun. So I have summer socks and then winter socks in the same colors. So I'm having fun with that. It's a great way to use up scraps, and I tend to have enough left over. So that's really nice for me. I have small feet. I wear size 7, but they're kind of narrow. Like some of those I did on like 60 stitches or 58 stitches. Yeah, I have tiny feet, I guess. I didn't think they were that tiny, but I guess they are compared to other people's. Okay, so that was Set Sail. From the mainland, I have a stack. So let's get started. The first thing that came was a package from Maggie, who lives just west of me, like 45 minutes west, I think. And she's the one who made my Batgirl bag. I don't know if I haven't shown that in a little while, but it's a big, as you call it, a big sweater size bag that I guess I commissioned her to make. I sent her the fabric and she made it to hold pieces from my Batgirl costume. But she said she made me another bag and she wanted to send it to me, and I was like, okay. She sent me this super cute package. It's all boxed up, like fits perfectly into this thing. It's so cute. She sent me a little notepad with note cards, which are very cute. And then this is another notepad. Ooh, it has a magnet on the back. I didn't realize that. For notes, which which is fun. I might put this up at work on my, I have a magnetic whiteboard right by my desk, and this might be nice to keep notes there. And then, complete with washi tape. I did kind of open these and then wrap them back up because I'm going to show you them to you all pretty like. She sent me these adorable cards. Aren't these cute? They have knit stitches on them in yellow, which is like my favorite thing ever right now. It says, I have enough yarn, said no knitter ever. And this one says, knitting keeps me from unraveling. Take it one stitch at a time. Oh, and another one says knitting keeps from unraveling. I just think these are so cute. And she made these, I think, because it says TheMagster Crafts. So that's her Instagram, is TheMagster Crafts. And very fun, very cute. And they came with envelopes as well. So actually, I'm going to keep those wrapped up. Keep them nice. They're almost too pretty to use. I almost want to just like put them on my wall because they're just so cute. I'll probably end up using them eventually, but I will save them for something very special. And then this is the bag she sent me. The box on the floor. This I haven't totally unwrapped. I kind of peeked in through the side. Look at this. She said it had birds and it was yellow and it reminded her of me and she wanted to send it to me. Thank you, Maggie. I love this. Isn't this amazing? It's so fun. And it's got the yellow bottom. It's got a handle on it too. I didn't notice that before. I haven't really unwrapped it because I want to save it. It says her tag, TheMagster. I think she sells on Etsy. You can find her TheMagster Crafts. It's got this lovely, like, natural lining, which is just fantastic. I just love it. It's like got different specks of color in there. I love it. So thank you, Maggie. I'm very excited about this, and this is a perfect size for keeping a shawl or several sock projects, as I tend to do. I just kind of shove them all in one bag. Several at once. So that's awesome. I'm very excited about that. And it's yellow, so it's awesome. So that was package number 1 of the week. And then package number 2 was my swap package from macdonaldcj, who is Chris, who lives in Canada, Nova Scotia to be exact. She sent me these lovely postcards. There's Halifax, Nova Scotia. Fun fact about Halifax is that, I guess it's not about Halifax, it's about my brother in Halifax. My brother did a semester at sea, which he absolutely loved. But he set off from Halifax, and then they sailed around the world and ended up in California, I think. But they have to, with some regulation, they have to start out in another country or end up in another country. They can't start and end in the U.S. It's weird. Anyway, but he started from Halifax, which I'd never heard of until then, but apparently it's a big city, as according to this picture. So these are really fun. And then, because it's Canada, she sent me some maple syrup in a maple jar that looks like a maple leaf. This is awesome. It's like actual real maple syrup, so I'm very excited about that. Now I want to make waffles or pancakes or something and eat it. So that will have to happen sometime in the near future. She also sent me these adorable stitch markers. They're little Matryoshka dolls. I don't know if you can see those. Very sweet. I'm excited about. And she also made this needle cozy, which I love this fabric. I know one of my friends on Instagram has a bag in a fabric very similar to this, and every time I see it, I'm like, oh, I love that fabric. This is very awesome. The inside has green polka dots. It's got 2 snaps. Which actually, they blend right in. Because they're dark green, you can hardly see them. It's kind of fun. So I'm very excited about that. And then she sent me a nice little card, and I didn't unpack this, and then I put it all back in here because I wanted to keep it together to show you guys. Whole collection of teas, which I'm very excited about. That's fun. I'm gonna stick those back in here so I don't lose them all. I have a box of like kind of swap tea that people send me because I emptied out a box of tea and I was like, oh, perfect. Now I'm gonna put all the teas that people send me in swaps. So that's where these are gonna go in my tea cupboard. And then she sent me this Cadbury milk chocolate. It's gonna be delicious. Then she sent me the yarn for because it's the Friends Fraternal Sock Swap cowl, and it's from, what is it, Twist Fiber Studio, and it's the Lexington fingerling. The colorway, yeah, Lexington fingering. Colorway is Dye Pot Surprise. And it's got a tad bit of sparkle in it, which I think is just fun. You can hardly see it, but it's there. And this is the yarn that we chose to pair with it. So that is going to be beautiful. This is One Twisted Tree Prime in her, the Hinky Punk colorway, which is a gorgeous gray with purple, like tonal purples dyed over gray. So these are going to be together, and I think that's fantastic. I actually didn't see her yarn. It was a total surprise. But I had shown her this. I'd given her a couple options because I often purchase yarn with projects in mind. And this one, the project, I chose something else. And so I was like, this one's up for grabs. And I'd sent her a couple other options that I decided that they weren't going to work for that project for whatever reason. And so she chose this one and sent me that. So that's going to be really fun. I'm excited to get started on those. And that's it from that package. So that was all in this tiny little thing, and I'm very impressed. So thank you so much. That was very awesome to open today. Yeah. Good surprise on a Monday. I didn't know when it would get here because of the issues with the Canadian Post system, and sometimes international shipping, sometimes it'll take forever and sometimes it's really quick. So got here really quickly, which is awesome. And the other thing that arrived was a GnomeAcres order that I placed on Friday from her update. And Amanda is like the fastest shipper ever. It's ridiculous. I order it and like 20 minutes later I get a shipping notice, and then it's here like 3 days after that. Not even. It's 2 days. Yeah, because Sunday doesn't really count. It helps that she lives kind of close by. I really wish she lived a lot closer, because then we could hang out more. But she lives close enough that it gets here really quickly. So I got a Notions kit. She'd shown these on one of her later podcasts, and I was like, oh my god, these are so fun. This is a zippered pouch. It's like a paper. It's really fun. She said you can write on it, I guess. I'll see. It's very fun, and it comes with a tape measure. You can get just the pouch or these things separately. I decided to just get them all together because why not? So I got a tape measure. That's what these are called. I mean, I always need these for socks and whatnot. It also comes with a ruler, which would be perfect for measuring my stack of socks. I was looking for one the other day and I couldn't find one other than the weird one that has centimeters and inches going opposite ways. That'll be very useful. And then old-timey stitch markers, which I'm very excited about. I've never actually used these, but I've been wanting to get some. So the fact that they came in this is perfect. So I'm excited about those. Nice zippered pouch. And then I got some yarn, because that's what you do when you order from GnomeAcres. Because she does amazing things with yarn. So I had seen this colorway. This is the Blueberries colorway that she had put up for pre-order. And my grandfather had asked for socks. I had knit him socks a couple years ago, and he's getting older. He's about to turn 90 actually this year. And his, his feet are getting kind of swollen, and so that he'd kind of outgrown the socks, and so he asked for another pair. I was like, if my 90-year-old grandfather's asking for a pair of socks, he's gonna get a pair of socks. And I had asked my dad to ask him what color, and he said like blues or maybe with some green in there. And so I saw this and was like, perfect. Dark blues with some brighter pops, so it's not too crazy, because he's, you know, he's kind of subdued as far as grandfathers go. And in terms of color, you know, don't want to get too crazy. So this is her new blueberries colorway. I got it in the sport base because I thought that would be nice and squishy, because he's mostly just around the house. He doesn't go out much. The family lives really nearby and helps take care of him, and so he's still very mobile and up and about and doing stuff, but he just doesn't have a need to go out much. So I thought sport weight socks for around the house would be perfect. And then one of my really good friends, I had asked for some short socks, like these, like no-show socks. And her favorite color is orange. And so while I was getting this, I looked around to see what else to get. And I saw this, which is Orangesicle. And I got it in the house gnome base. And I sent my friend, a picture. And she said, that's perfect. So it's got pops of orange, but it's not too crazy. And so it's got some neutrals in there. And that is going to knit up beautifully. So I'm going to knit her pair of socks out of that. And then I've been wanting this for a very long time, and finally I got it. Mint chocolate chip. So I got some, which is on the Tweety base. The what was it called? Scruffy Gnome base, and I love it because I needed more mint for my blanket, right? Yeah. Plus, I just love the color mint. I have a lot of it in my wardrobe, and so I thought having some of this, probably to knit some socks out of. But we'll see. We'll see what this turns into. Not entirely sure yet, but some of it's going in my blanket. That's all I know. But I've been eyeing this for a long time, and I just wasn't able to get any until now. So I got that, and that's it, I think, for this week. Oh, the other thing I got in the mail, which I can't show you, is a yarn for a collaboration that I'm doing with a couple friends for a fun thing that will be coming out later this year. So that came in the mail, but that's all the information I can give you right now. And it's some yarn that I got, and it's amazing. Oh my gosh. I had been working with the dyer, and I had sent her like some pictures or some like random thought that had come to me of colors, and she nailed it. Like, it is like blew me out of the water. It's way prettier than I had ever imagined, and it's going to be amazing. So I just hope I can do it justice. So we'll see how that turns out. But I started it the other night, and there's a lot to go. The good news is on another collaboration that's happening, the shawl design that I've been working on, the asymmetrical mystery knit along, is almost done. I'm going to be sending it to testers this week or early next week, and I'm going to be releasing it to them in clues just to test how that goes, because I've never done a mystery knit along. I mean, I've knit a mystery knit along, but I've never designed a mystery knit along. So I'm going to test how that goes, and then after that will be ready for a mystery knit along, hopefully sometime late summer, early fall. So that will be fun. And yeah, so that's progressing. But I haven't been showing it to you because it's a mystery. That's the whole point, is that you don't see it. You've seen the two colors. It's the one I'm doing out of Two Guys Yarn Company. So it's like an orange and a teal that I've shown. And yeah, so that's coming along, and been getting some work lately, which has been great. So I think that's it for this week. I don't think I forgot anything, which is good, because I have somewhere to be in like 15 minutes. Luckily, it's not very far away. And but I wanted to get this out there. I had kind of a relaxing weekend where I didn't feel like putting on like makeup and real people clothes. So that's why I'm recording today, when I had to get dressed up for work anyway. So worked out well. So I hope you all had a great week, and you have a great week coming forward. The 4th of July is coming up, which means that my birthday is coming up really soon. That's kind of exciting. I have no idea what I'm going to do for it. I really don't. I was talking with my husband and another friend of ours. I'm like, I feel like I should do something like epic, and I don't know what to do. So we'll see. I'm turning 30. That's why I think that I should do something kind of commemorative, I guess. So we'll see what actually ends up happening. But my birthday's on the 8th, in case you wanted to know. And yes, I'm turning 30. I'm kind of okay with that now. I think I've just kind of let it sink in that, okay, yeah, I'm turning 30. I've had a whole year since turning 29 was kind of weird. I'm like, I'm almost 30, but I'm okay with it. 30 will be good. I've heard 30s are good, so sounds good to me. All right, that's enough rambling. I gotta head out. So have a great week, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.